This is next. I don't know how you pronounce it. Jonsered? Anyway, it's supposed to be equivalent to Husqvarna. I don't know. 16-inch bar. It was at auction for $16, so I have no idea. Chain sharp though. We're gonna have to dig into it. I almost guarantee the fuel lines are rotted, so that's step one. I did pull it. It's not seized. Not that I can show you, but anyway, it's not. And it feels like it has compression, so let's see what happens. So it might get loud. They're jackhammering outside for a project. Anyway, plug looks good. Let's see if it's got spark. So, on. Hazazaza. Can you see it? Can you? Oh, plenty of spark. Okay. We can test compressions real quick. Alright, chances of me holding this steady are probably about 0. Let's turn the spark off so I don't get electrocuted. Oh! That's what I thought. I'm going to send the camera sailing. Anyway, I can't get an accurate count, but the answer's plenty. Awesome. Got spark, got compression. This oil line was crushed and useless, so it certainly was not drawing any oil. But everything else, let's clean up the carburetor. That fuel line's fine. It doesn't have a return. This is old school, no primer bulb. So 16-inch bar, by the way, I measured that. The chain is sharp. Oh, let's clean the carb, put it back together, and see if it fires up. Might as well just point to the outfield, right? And go ahead and replace on this line. Put some oil in it. See if it feeds once I repair the line. We're gonna see on that. I have my doubts. I hope the tank's all right. Well, we'll find out. I don't know where that oil line goes, but I can guarantee you that it doesn't just end, not supposed to just end there. I mean, it's got to get, I think, over to here. So I'm gonna take that plate off, try to figure out the routing of that oil line. Oh, I think I'm a dummy. I think I know how this works. There's a cam and a little that pumps. That's where the oil shoots out and then gets shoved up there. Boop, boop, out that hole and lubes the chain. So this here, I think, is not an oil line at all, but is a gas cap. I mean, a gas tank vent. That must be how it allows air in so that you don't create a vacuum as it sucks fuel up into the carb as you use it. That's all I can think of. Pretty sure that's it. I'll be able to tell. I'll squirt some compressed air real super lightly in there and see if I can tell it's coming out the tank. Then I'll know, but I do need to check then that the pickup line that comes from that outlet, right, goes into the oil tank and is intact. There's probably a filter hanging in the oil tank too. Let's give that a looky-loo next. Fun. I have to take off the flywheel to get at that. I think the only way to tell if that pickup line's good is to pull the little pump out. The only way to do that is to take the flywheel off. So it tells you off, backwards threaded. I'm just gonna jam an impact driver on it. Only the finest impact rated sockets for me. Let's see what happens. Sorry about the noise. Construction guys and then this drill. Oops. Helps if you actually pay attention to reading what it says. See? Righty-loosey. Seems like that has to slip off the end of the crank. Can't see because of the filth. Well, I needed something to grip that with without tearing it up. Made in Sweden. Well, how am I going to get that off? It'd be nice if I knew what I was doing. I should research it, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna try to be careful. This end's moving, kinda. This end gonna move? Is it just stuck? I think it's just stuck. Don't wanna break it. This end doesn't seem to be moving. Is it? Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. Well, I gotta block your view because I gotta get in here. Man, that jackhammering is annoying. Easy, gentle. There it is. Just like my crappy Craftsman. It's all full of gack, but it probably works. And fail. We still can't see where that hose goes. Anyway, clean all this out. See what happens. Hold on. Wow, that's okay. So the official word is there is no filter in the inside. There's just this hard plastic pickup tube. So it was dirty. This one doesn't have any means of keeping sawdust out of the oil chamber, except that the human operating the saw has to not be an idiot. So we're gonna jam it back in there and call it a day. That's the way that fella goes. That is the pickup. And then as the shaft spins, right, this little fella that I took out spins and creates pressure in this one hole, which forces it out the other hole. So it's in there like, oops, I don't know if you can see me. It's in there like that. As the engine spins, this thing spins. You can see inside that little hole. Burp, 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 burp. Anyways, I guess the shape of the cam in there, or the shape of the part, forces oil to get sucked up from the pickup and poked through the other side. And on the other side is this piece that squeezes on, remember? And oil comes out there. Travels from down and out the hole. And the hole is, well, actually it went upright like this, right? Then it comes up this channel and right out onto your blade. So it looks all right. The part that wore out on my Craftsman ones always was this plastic gear, but this one looks okay. Teeth are all good, so I'm gonna clean all this sawdust out this the whole shaft mechanism comes out, just pulls out of here like that, and yeah, get it all cleaned up here and put it back together. I think we're ready to start it after that. I don't think there's anything left. All right. That's a vent. It's a little copper vent. So I'm just gonna rip this whole thing out and replace it. It's just flexible tie gun tubing. I have that, so that's it. The rest is gonna be just fiddling, trying to get this back put together. I think the diaphragm in the carb was okay, so I think it'll run. We're gonna find out here in a minute. Oh my God, what a pain in the pickle. But anyhow, it's back together. I couldn't figure out how to get that cable on there. It was actually simple, but the housing was faking me out. Anyway, everything's back. The air filter, carburetor's tight. Throttle does throttly things. Can you see it in there? And the choke mechanism functions. I don't know if you can see that, but then when you squeeze the trigger, the choke turns off. So you got to partly squeeze the trigger, pull out the choke. Well, I can't do it. There it is. I can't operate it by myself here. There. So the choke locks over there, and then when you squeeze the trigger, it releases it. It cocks it part. Anyway, it does what it's supposed to do. Everything's in working order. So we can proceed. Spark plug, good. Head spark. Compression, good. Air filter, good. I took everything apart for no reason, because it turns out, near as I can tell, there's no reason that everything shouldn't work. So let's put it all the way back together and try to start it. I did get, can you see it? The little copper filter in there with the air vent to the tank. So that should be all good. Let's finish putting it together. Well, there's nothing for it. Gonna give her a little bath in WD-40 and clean it up. There it is. Ready for starting and testing. That's next. Let me clean it up real quick. Well, I guess there's nothing for it but to try it. Gonna fill it up, take it outside, set the tripod up, and give it a rip. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, that should be starting position. Oh. I think I gotta give it more. All right. Should be starting. Denied. Well, what's left? Well, of course, as soon as you turn the camera off, one pull and it popped off. I turned the choke all the way off, and then it would ran pretty good. Anyway, I had to back both high and low screws out a little. It's not tuned right, but it runs. Whoops. Well, now I've done it.